We're up to the really fun bits on Jung's car, a bit of hammer work. What we've done is we've now fitted the suspension, and the suspension actually works remarkably well. We were playing with it in the rocks before. We've got some pretty amazing travel and some pretty big articulation. Unfortunately, with these great big 31-inch 10R tyres, and they're an enormous tyre for a Vitara, they just simply don't fit in these mudguards, even though the suspension's been jacked up. Now, people ask me, won't suspension be enough to put the bigger tyres under? The answer is absolutely not. If the suspension's any good, the car will actually have as much, if not more, travel than what it had before, meaning the wheels can still come back in. We now have to make some room on this car. Now, we've done already one major thing to make more room, which is a body lift. That's raised the body up a little bit higher, which gives us clearance up here. Unfortunately, because the tyres are so damn big, they get a crash right in back here at the back corner of the guards. Now, what we've done, this is an unmodified one. We haven't started this one yet. On the other side is one that we prepared earlier. So let's go and have a look and see what we've done. Okay, guys, this is one that we actually prepared earlier. We've done it a little while ago. What we've done, first of all, is we've cut the outside guard slightly down here. Now, actually, surprisingly, very little. Probably only a cut of maybe 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 an inch or so, not a great deal. But in here, we've had to do some serious modification. And when you get to see the tyre referenced against this, there's a lot of clearance there, which is great. But when it goes in, it comes up. This inside guard has had to be modified, be cut and changed. We'll now put a plastic liner back up in here, put flares on it, and we'll have a guard that's ready to take these great big fantastic tyres. We're back on the back half of Jung's car here now. This we've actually done previously, and what we've done is we've fitted the flares. Now, these are an unbreakable sprayed polyurethane flare, but because of the way that this wheel moves, we have a fixed point here. This goes up on a radius like so. So there was plenty of clearance here because of our body lift, but it was hitting between here down to here as the wheel moved through its arc. We've actually had to cut the bumper bar, remanufacture all the mounts, space it all back up, and get the flares back in. We now can fit the 31-inch 10Rs here with plenty of clearance, and this should work beautifully. And we're actually able to get pretty much close to nearly full articulation out of it. This is just going to touch ever so slightly on the top. We may have to put a very tiny spacer in to control that, but we'll measure that once we've finished. But this is going really, really well. We're today in our little Suzuki room, obviously, because we're doing Jung's car. One of the questions I get asked all the time is about snorkels to put on Suzukis, and I guess what we'd like to do is give you a little bit of an idea of understanding what the choices are and what the options are. So let's just go into that. First of all, for most Suzukis, there are moulded plastic snorkels like this one is made by Safari. It's probably one of the best snorkels in the world for your Suzuki. The great thing about a moulded snorkel like this is it has been designed, tested and checked for quality of airflow, quality of fit, and very importantly, if you break your car or you damage something on the snorkel, you can buy spare parts. Now, for those of us out there who do engine conversions in our Suzukis, we take out a 1300 and put in a 1600 EFI, or we put a different motor in. Quite often, where the actual snorkel goes onto the car is the wrong side for the air pickup. So for those people who go out on that lunatic fringe and do things like I do, we actually make stainless steel snorkels. The reason we're not using one on Jung's car today is because there is a far better product available that's going to fit beautifully, it's going to work superbly, it's reproducible, and it's a great product, and it's Australian made, and that is the Safari product. But for those of you with engine conversions and all the others, we do have the specialty stainless steel ones. So what we're going to do now is get the various tools out. We have a special stepped drill bit for drilling these holes as opposed to an ordinary drill. We have a special hole saw for putting the hole in the side of the car. We're going to get into that now and get this fantastic snorkel on the car. It's not only going to look tough and good, but it's going to make it a hell of a lot better off-road. So let's get into it. And I guess what we'd really like to explain is the reasons why you actually need a snorkel on your four-wheel drive. Now, this little Suzuki picks up its air pretty much just under the mudguard at the moment. It doesn't take very much water for it to splash up and get sucked into the engine. And what I'd like to show you is the consequence of having a very small amount of water get into an engine. This is the pistons, not out of Jung's car, but this is out of a very, very good friend's car, a chap named Christopher. And these connecting rods are supposed to be absolutely dead straight. This engine was completely and utterly destroyed. The bottom of the block was damaged, the connecting rods were damaged, the whole engine was destroyed because of a small amount of water that splashed up from underneath. Now, to eliminate that from potentially happening, we fit a snorkel to the car. The snorkel we're using today is the Safari Snorkel. It is a brilliant product to fit. We have a template that tapes onto the side of the car, so we get all the reference points. We drill the relevant holes, hole goes in through the guard, the snorkel hooks up onto the air cleaner, and we have an absolutely watertight system, so the car is now able to go through water, probably up to halfway up the windscreen, as opposed to just across the top of the tyre. The second reason for fitting a snorkel is obviously dust. Now, if you're in a convoy situation with a great many cars, the dust that kicks up is significant, and obviously the car picking it up just above the tyre is going to put heaps and heaps of dust into the air cleaner, therefore clogging up your air cleaner. The cleaner air from up here is going to ensure the air cleaner stays cleaner longer, giving us obviously better fuel economy, better performance, and also not damaging your air cleaner, so the engine's going to last you longer.